Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Happy first of the month, and on the first day of every month, we review the book of the month. In order to be considered for book of the month, a book has to meet a very simple criteria. It's got to be impactful enough that it can either change your life or your perspective on the world. Now, whether it does or not, of course, is entirely up to you. It depends on how you consume the content. If you consume it purely as a piece of entertainment, well, then you'll have an entertaining read. But if you internalize it and make it part of you, it has the opportunity to truly change your life. And today's book definitely is worthy of that criteria. Our book this month is a brand new book called Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know by Adam Grant. Adam is a deep thinker, and his book is a deep exploration of the question, what do we know? Adam Grant is an organizational psychologist at Wharton. He's one of TED's most popular speakers, and his books have sold millions of copies. His talks have been viewed more than 25 million times, and his podcast called Work Life is fantastic. I listen to it regularly. He's been recognized as one of the world's 10 most influential management thinkers. He's a graduate of Harvard, and he completed his PhD from the University of Michigan. Adam's book, Think Again, examines numerous questions like, what does it mean to be mentally fit? Normally, we think that intelligence is a prerequisite, and intelligence is traditionally viewed as the ability to think and learn. Yet in our current world, there might be another set of cognitive skills that might matter more, the ability to rethink and unlearn. He examines how opinions and beliefs are formed. He looks at the history of research on the topic and how people are faced with the exact same circumstances. Some people get attached to their thoughts. Other people take a completely different perspective. For some, their very identity is wrapped up in their opinion. For others, they exhibit the ability to let go of their opinion, to change their mind, and to remain attached to the principles and values rather than beliefs and opinions. Being wrong is often burdened with social stigma, with weakness. That's particularly true for men. So rather than believing what we see what we believe. In psychology, there's at least two biases that drive this pattern. One is confirmation bias, seeing what we expect to see. The other is desirability bias, seeing what we want to see. Those biases don't just prevent us from applying our intelligence, they actually contort our intelligence into a weapon against the truth. Thinking like a scientist involves more than just reacting with an open mind. It means being actively open-minded. It requires searching for reasons why we might be wrong, not for reasons why we might be right, and then revising our own views based on what we learn. Research shows that when people are resistant to change, it helps reinforce what will stay the same. When we lack the knowledge and skills to achieve excellence, we sometimes lack the knowledge and skills to judge excellence. This insight should immediately put your favorite confident ignoramus in their place. But before we poke fun at them, it's worth remembering that we all have moments when we are that ignoramus. Arrogance is ignorance plus conviction. Humility at the other end of the spectrum is a permeable filter that absorbs life experience and converts it into knowledge and wisdom. Arrogance is a rubber shield that life experience simply bounces off of. Confidence is a measure of how much you believe in yourself. Evidence shows that's distinct from how much you believe in your methods. You could be confident in your ability to achieve a goal while maintaining the humility to question whether you have the right tools in the present. There's a sweet spot of confidence. Most of us are accustomed to defining ourselves in terms of our beliefs, ideas, and ideologies. This can become a problem when it prevents us from changing our minds as the world changes and as knowledge evolves. Our opinions can become so sacred that we grow hostile to the mere thought of being wrong, and a totalitarian ego leaps in to silence counter-arguments, to squash contrary evidence, and to close the door on learning. Who you are should be a question of what you value, not what you believe. And values are the core principles in life. We often face small amounts of evidence, and these are usually sufficient to have us draw conclusions, but they're rarely enough to make us revise our conclusions. That's where the best forecasters and analysts excel. They're eager to think again. They see their opinions more as hunches than as truths, as possibilities to entertain rather than facts to embrace. They question ideas before accepting them, and they're willing to keep questioning them even after accepting them. What I love about Adam's book, Think Again, is that he challenges both loosely held and even tightly held beliefs about the way we conduct ourselves. He doesn't care that he might offend someone. He has the research to back up all of his assertions, and his findings are at times counterintuitive. The conclusions often breaks the author's own previously held beliefs. It's only then that we can grow past our own limiting beliefs. As you think about that, go out and get a copy of Think Again by Adam Grant. Have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.